It's been 10 years since you last visited Brazil, right? It was
Yeah,
in 2014.
yeah,
What
it's
did
been
you
a
think?
while, so I'm glad to be back again. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Long.
we're glad too. It took so long. Why did you take so long?
Well, I think there were several reasons. The Corona time. Otherwise we would have been back earlier. That didn't help, and then we had to, of course, catch up with other shows, and we keep postponing it a bit, and so it became longer and longer. And yeah, I think that's the main reason, for my side. So yes, and next to the fact that I don't like flying, so.
Do you have any memories from Brazil? Any fun facts that you like to bring into memory
Well,
lane?
I remember that I brought a lot of vinyl last time from Brazil, because I really like the traditional kind of music, and uh, we play that in the summertime. I put that on in the garden, and then we have music here, and so it's a combination. Yeah, if we have sun and have that's typical Brazilian weather that we never have, but except for the summer, then it's nice to put on the in the garden and have music on. So that's something that I took back from Brazil. And I remember, going to the beach and being there with the whole band, everybody taking a dive into on the one day off that we had. And I remember the intense reaction of fans trying to get into the venue, singing already songs outside of the gates. It's like, oh my God, they're coming. It's like,
Yeah.
want to go off stage, like, okay, are they going to lynch us if we go now?
Where do we go,
Four.
Arila?
We played at least 4 songs extra than we were supposed to. It's like, okay, we're gonna continue because they don't want to leave.
Yeah, yeah. This,
No, no,
so,
no.
this is our way. Our this is Brazilian way.
Yeah, no, but I love it. I love your passion, so don't worry about it. It was fun.
And what are your expectations for this return to Brazil? This now that you are in a festival, in a big festival here, what's your expectation about it?
Well, I think we can expect the typical reaction at last time. I think people just simply uh, love music in general, not just our music, but they love being outside, love music, and they will start dancing and they'll be intense again, I think. And I love that because as you are as a performer on stage as a musician, you would like to you give everything you have. So to get so much back is the best compliment you can get. So if that's going to happen, I'm going to be a happy puppy. So
Oh, yeah. Do you see any essential difference between festival format shows or solo shows in the
yeah,
small places?
yeah, of course. I think you can bring more easily atmosphere, of course, in a smaller place. But with a festival, it's the outdoor kind of feel to being there. It's and also you have a bigger stage most of the time, so that gives possibilities as well. So I think everybody's always like in a party mood when they go to a festival, even more so than indoors. And but in indoors you can do more of a of course more intimate kind of atmosphere, which is more difficult on the big stage. But we'll try our best, and also to create that intimate atmosphere somehow, although there's going to be a lot of people. But yeah, I'm looking.
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed a real change in the role of women in metal? Within heavy metal, which has always been somewhat associated with more masculine side of music. Have you ever noticed this empowerment of women in metal?
Well, what I feel recently, in the last few years, I feel that the women that are in metal are really um, reaching out to each other, trying to empower each other. Although, where in the past people tried to make us be competitive towards each other, especially media, nowadays I feel that the women especially try to team up and be like, we have so much in common. It's just so few ladies in metal, so we should be like shoulder to shoulder instead of being on opposite sides from each other, and we can gain so much more, and it's so much more fun to be together instead of nowadays. When I last time I played on a festival in England, and Amy Lee came by to say hi. Hey, let's have a wine. And then Simone came by, said, oh yes, I would like to join as well. It's like, oh, this is so much fun. It's like just having a chat behind the show and to give each other a hug and have small talk a little bit, and and then doing your own business again. But still, it's like that's so much more fun than to see each other as competition, which we're not, because everybody has their own kind of music and everybody does it in their own way. And that's the best of the old times that I was in music. I think this is the best era because I like this way better. It gives me a better feeling, seeing somebody as a friend instead of competition. It's difficult sometimes to find other musicians. It's not. I think the internet is like, it's so much music, and to find what you're looking for is not that easy anymore either. They say it's so much easier now. You have internet and you can promote yourself. Like, yeah, but there's also algorithms. If you're not in the right algorithms, you don't see everything. It's like you just see what you already have been listening to mostly.
But you said that you liked the Brazilian music when you came here.
Yeah,
you enjoy it.
Yeah, but it's like the folk music, the really traditional.
Yeah, which one? Is there any band that you like to say, or any?
Then I'm really bad at titles and stuff like that. I have to look them up. I'm sorry.
Do you know Sepultura, right? Do you know them?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's the typical ones that I grew up with also, in a way, So it's yeah, when we started, they were like, playing on the big festivals everywhere in Europe. So we always bumped into them, and they were major, and still are. So it's like, yeah, of course we know. Who doesn't know them?
I don't know. Let's talk about your albums and your releases. Although your previous album, Resist, touched on this same extent, your latest one, Bleed It Out, clearly leans towards addressing more political themes, taking more critical look at social issues, which wasn't in common within Temptations' work before. Did you choose the direction? How was it? How was all the plan for the new album?
Well, the thing is, we've always been politically engaged. We were always into politics, but we never were that open about it. So when we talked about, when we made songs like The Sea of Fools, even on Mother Earth, it was really about the far right party here in the Netherlands becoming bigger and bigger and spreading their propaganda at the time. So The Sea of Fools, which was on Mother Earth already, was already a political song actually. And Silent Force was an intense, mostly political songs are on that as well. And Forsaken is about the environment and stuff like that. So we've always been inspired by subjects around us, but we're always using metaphors that people didn't know that we were talking about it that much. But The Zebra Fools really says already, like like a person in power, and who is putting up a facade and spreading propaganda. So anyway, but it's become the latest two albums. We just realized, like, if we don't speak up about what inspires us, so with Resist and with the last album, what are you trying to reach? What is your goal with your music? And don't you want people to know what it's about? Because well, I guess when you at this age, you don't care that much anymore, and that what people think of you. And when we were younger, we were a bit more like, okay, we're not sure how to deal with this, and we have our opinions, but do people want to know? And we were not sure about that. And nowadays we're way more sure, and we think there's no option also more to choose for anything else than to be clear about it, because I think the world is on fire at the moment. It's like we're dancing on a volcano, and if you're not going to talk about it now, it's going to be too late. And in the meantime, a lot of people suffer because of the changes in laws and things happening in the world right now. So it's not a good place to be at, a bit depressing. And that's why we've taken this decision to be more open about it. Leading out, and this is especially a song that we wrote about Iran, like this new generation that wants to have democracy, more rights for themselves, how they want to dress, how the ladies want to dress, with Mahsa Amini being killed, just saying, I don't want to wear the scarf anymore, and we want to be more modern in a way. And to see a whole generation, not just women but also men doing that was really like, wow, it was very inspirational to me, because I felt like these women, they know they're going to be killed or thrown into jail, or even the men writing songs. There was a musician that wrote a song for his sister and his mother being oppressed, and that he felt for them, and he got hung for his song just by words, singing words. It's like, how scared can you be of that, you know?
Yeah.
But those kind of things that give me chills to the bone, and that makes me write songs and makes me angry, and I need to get rid of that frustration through my music. There hasn't been a lot of bands talking about the Ukraine, you know, so that's something that surprised me. But there's a few bands that actually do, but it's not enough, to my opinion. It's like I would have expected this to be a source of inspiration for a lot of people, and I would love to hear more people, you know, support them, to speak up about it, and or maybe some other issues that are there, you know, like Gaza and Israel is also fine, but we all have to pick up something that is important. And you know, because we've been selective in our activism towards the countries, of course, but there's so many more countries where a lot of things are happening, and women's rights, you know, like there's so much to say. So much,
Yeah,
you know,
and by the way, what about
topic.
filming the Fool's Parade? You're talking about Ukraine.
Yeah,
How was it?
yeah, it was intense. It was inspirational again, in the way that you see how resilient and how strong and united the Ukraine is to fight the Russians. And they're not people that complain. Also, it's like sometimes there's always like, why don't you help us? No, they never said, why don't you help us? Like, how nice it is that you're here to witness and watch what's happening here. And we really appreciate that you're here and doing something for us, instead of, why aren't you doing this and why aren't you doing that? They really they go about it themselves, and they love it when you help them. But if you're not helping them, they don't criticize you. You don't hear anybody say, what about Ukraine? You don't hear anybody say that.
Yeah.
You saying that, you know, which I understand, because a lot of countries need help as well, but it's more the type of way how they express themselves. They are very, well, they're really doing it together, and they don't expect any help, but they need help very much, because there are days that they can't defend themselves as an army, because there's no ammunition, because there's shortages of everything. They don't have enough drones, they don't have enough things to defend themselves with. They need more air defense, because Russia has intensified the attacks on the Ukraine immensely lately. And knowing that, and talking to people that have lost, because there was one lady that helped me from Music Saves Ukraine, that we're donating all our royalties to now from this song. And she said, yeah, I lost my brother who is 37, and he had a 2-year-old baby. You know, it's like, yeah, when you see that when somebody tells you that, then it gives you goosebumps. It gets underneath your skin, and you get even more, well, you know, somehow you get dragged into everything, and you feel connected to them even more. So like, if it's only 2-hour flight from where I'm living, 2 hours, you can go down to the metro station underneath the ground, and you can be there. You know, a lot of people sleep there when there's an air alert, because they don't have a shelter at home, because they're living in an apartment or something like that. Or so that was to see that, and to experience that air alert while we were doing a video shoot at night. We were in a studio, and we had a scene with fans that came over to support us and to be in the video. And the air alert went off, so everybody had on your phone, you have an air alert from the region that you are in, and it goes up, woo, woo, and
Wow. Were you
everybody
afraid?
had,
Were you afraid of that? Of being
no,
bombing or something?
no, I wasn't afraid, but because I was in good hands, and people exactly can see on the air alerts what kind of danger there is. Like, is it a drone? Is the MiG, you know, airplane, which can have a hypersonic, very fast and big bomb with them that can wipe out the whole area within a few seconds. So immediately you know what's going to happen the next few seconds. So the app tells you everything, to how fast you need to get to a shelter, and how close by the danger is. And because when something leaves Russia, they immediately know something's coming their way, and they then you still sometimes have time to get a coffee and get to a shelter. But sometimes there's no time at all, because when it's a MiG with a supersonic bomb, you know, the bomb is so fast, it can wipe out the whole area within a few seconds. So it's and then yeah, the air defense system in Ukraine, especially in Kiev, in the air defense system works really well. They have these Patriots and stuff, and but still, when they shoot the bombs out of the air, the debris and the pieces still come to buildings, and you see a lot of damage to buildings, but also to bypasses who didn't get to a shelter in time. So
Mhm.
that's based. Most injuries come from that, and drones. Drones are like the new technology kind of thing of warfare. When we were in the studio, there were drones nearby, but we had like walls around us, so that's not dangerous. But when you're close to a window, then that can really injure you like in a very bad way. So we were safe at that moment, but it does make you realize, okay, this is the reality of a lot of people in Kiev at that moment, that you know that people are maybe they are close to a window, and that can be like fatal for them.
Wow.